The use of physical models and incorporating that seamlessly with VFX is something they did phenomenally in the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and one example of this is Orthanc. They really wanted to portray Orthanc the way Alan Lee did in his paintings, so they made a huge physical model that, in order to kind of look like black obsidian, they carved it by hand in wax and then made a version in protective resin to be a little bit more lasting. But they really had to go into every little detail and carve every footstep to look good, because this wasn't just used in like wide shots, but they went into such detail that it could be shown in close-ups too, such as in the scene where Saruman walks down the stairs. That was actually the physical model in the background, not a full-size model, but the miniature. And something that Peter Jackson also mentioned is that one way to usually get around using miniatures is having very short scenes so the viewer can't notice that anything's strange, but the swooping scene of Orthanc when Gandalf is captured on top of the tower is actually over 1 minute long, and that one uses the physical miniature, just showing how well made it is, because honestly, even if you watch The Lord of the Rings today, I still don't really have any complaints on the VFX or anything looking weird. It just looks realistic, awesome, and that's what I love about this trilogy, even though it's over 20 years old now. The entire Isengard model was actually 18 meters across, with obviously the Orthanc tower in the middle, but the model also included 24 hand-built mine shafts with thousands of individual constructions and models to fill out those mine shafts and make them look alive. Obviously VFX was added on top of this, but the entire basis was made out of physical miniatures. And they made use of a lot of hybrid shots, such as when you see Isengard from above. The actual structures in Isengard was based off the physical model, but the sky and everything around was instead added through VFX, and hybrid shots is something that was used a lot in this movie. And same thing goes for the scene with the Crebine when they delivered the news to Saruman that they found the Fellowship. This was also physically modeled with 5 different caverns, both miniature sized and obviously one full-size section that live-action Saruman could fit into, again showing how well they made use of the kind of hybrid shots when they have different models, and of course added VFX on top of it. I think Orthanc is a perfect example of how amazing the craftsmanship in this movie was, and how much attention to detail they put to every little thing, even if it was just seen in the background for 1 second in a scene. Most of it was handcrafted and carefully added there, and not just something they slapped in there with VFX afterwards.